we wasn't going to have some hard times. What He's promised us, He would walk with us through them. He'd never leave us. He'd never forsake us. He would be there, and He would help us get out the other side. But we have to use our faith. Now look at verse 26. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be likened to a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rains descended, the floods came, the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. That fall affected other people, not only just that one person. As we went through this sermon series, we've talked about all that we receive from God, we receive by faith. We've talked about that our faith is alive. It's growing, it's strengthening, or it's becoming weaker. The struggles of life can beat our faith down. And our relationship with God is built on faith, and that faith means complete trust. It takes time. I'm going to start reading with verse 12. It says, most assuredly I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these will he do, because I go to my Father. And whatever you ask, what did Jesus say? He said, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, that's what Jesus said. He said, I will do it. Then he said, verse 15, you love me, keep my commandments. Now look over in James chapter 4. James chapter 4. See, there was a condition. In verse 15 there in John, there was a condition. He said, if you ask anything in my name, he said, I will do it. And then he said, if you love me, keep my commandments. The condition. See, if we love God and we want to live the life behind the name, we've got to keep His commandments. That's why we need to study to show ourselves approved. So many to the authority or will of another. See, will we submit to God? Will we say God knows best? When we read our Bibles, when we study our scriptures, when we go to Sunday school, when we come to church, when we do our devotions, will we say, yes, Lord, I recognize that. But see, it's hard to change. See, we get in a comfortable way in life. We get a comfortable way of how we like to do life. And it's a struggle. You know, those of you who've been around here long enough know I use this illustration every once in a while. Put your hands together. Lock your fingers together. Just lock your fingers together, just like that. Feels natural, don't it? It feels totally natural for you to put your fingers like that. Now move them one finger off. You can go frontwards or backwards. It doesn't matter, but just move them all off one time. You got them like this, move them like that. Got them like that, move them. You move, switch them. I can even move them the other way. See, it feels weird, doesn't it? And I use this a lot in talking about marriage. I'll say, immediately when I shift, my finger begins to rub me raw. My ring finger begins to rub me raw. And see, when you have to learn, when you get married, you start spending 24/7 with somebody, boy, all their habits begin to be multiplied.